The DMK also keeping the Congress guessing, the UPA government guessing as far as the no confidence move, the motion is concerned, which has been spoken about, of course, by Mamata Banerjee. This is all related to the FDI in retail. Remember, Karunanidhi's party hasn't come out yet clearly against Mamata's move for the no confidence motion against the UPA government, of which the DMK, of course, is a part as well. The DMK's official line is that it doesn't want to take any hasty decision. So the suspense as far as DMK is concerned has been kept alive. Headlines Swiss, Priyambada has been tracking developments. Ishna joins us for a live input. Much like the question posed to him, Priyambada, on the issue of FDI and retail, what their stand is going to be. When you look at this no confidence motion as well being put forth by Mamata Banerjee, the DMK chief coming out and saying, well, let suspense be alive. We'll reveal our cards once the winter session takes over.
That's precisely the card that Karunanidhi is playing. He wants to keep up the pressure on the UPA ally. We know that the relation between the two parties had been strained for quite some time, ever since the 2G scam, after which Karunanidhi had come out very strongly against the centre on various issues like the Sri Lankan Tamils issue and also the FDI issue. Initially, remember, he had written around 3 letters to the Prime Minister asking him not to come out with the FDI, and he had also made open statements criticizing the FDI, saying that he has to protect, he believes in protecting the interests of the small traders. But recently, after P. Chidambaram met Karunanidhi, he came out and met the media and said that they will wait and watch, and they're going to, that should be a on this entire issue. Now my sources are telling me, as far as the no confidence motion is concerned, they will wait to see what happens. Will Mamata be able to get those 50 MPs to move the no confidence motion? After which they will take a decision. But as of now, DMK wants to keep the Congress waiting. This was a way for DMK to get equal with the Congress.
Priyambada, thanks for joining us with your inputs on the story. I request you to stay on for a moment as well. Let's get some more perspective as well from Javed Ansari, senior editor, joining us. Also with us is Shabbir Ahmed from Chennai. Javed, I want to come to you first up. Let this be a movie with suspense is what Karunanidhi had said when he was asked the question about FDI and retail, what his party stand is going to be. But Javed, going ahead now, this is a more stronger issue which demanded a stand from the DMK. They've still maintained a little bit of ambiguity over it.
Yes, the DMK is still holding out, but the political managers of the UPA and the Congress party are hopeful that when push comes to shove, if and when this issue comes up when the no confidence motion comes up for a vote on the floor of the Lok Sabha, the DMK will be firmly on their side and they will not do anything which will imperil or destabilize the government. They are confident not just of the DMK support, but the support of all their allies and indeed some of the supporting parties like the BSP and the SP. As far as the question of whether Mamata Banerjee will be able to muster up the number 50, I'd be very surprised if she doesn't, because she already has 19 of her own, and then there's 9 of the AIDMK, Biju Janata Dal 14, and Telugu Desam, which has no love lost as far as the Congress is concerned. So I'm sure she'll get 50, she'll get past that number of 50, and when she does, parties like the BJP and other ND allies will also line up behind her. They may not be signatories to that motion when it is moved, but they will certainly vote against the government. They will do nothing to bail out the government. It will be a close call, say the political managers of the UPA, but they believe that in the end they will scrape through. They will have the numbers and they'll prove the majority on the floor of the House.
Alright, Javed, just stay on for a moment. Shabbir, I want to come to you here. I mean, the tone and tenor in which these comments have been made from Karunanidhi as well, making light of the situation the last time around, saying let it be like a suspense movie. Here as well, a stronger stand required. Javed saying yes, they have a little bit of confidence that when push comes to shove, they will back them. But, why this suspense? Why this posturing from the DMK? It's not a new issue with them. It's been a long-standing, woe that is a Congress which they've been dealing with.
Well, at this point in time, there is some kind of dilemma within the DMK to take this call, whether to support the no confidence motion. In fact, they have made it very clear to the Congress that they don't want voting to be conducted. They only want a debate, because as far as the debate is concerned, they can air their views, they can oppose FDI, but when voting comes, then there is a commitment that needs to be made on the floor of the House. So DMK doesn't want to commit itself by voting for or against the Congress on the floor of the House on the motion. So at this point in time, the DMK is trying to galvanize support within the party, because the opinion on the FDI issue within the party itself is divided. So Karunanidhi is holding discussions with the senior leaders of the party to try and finalize their position. But as of now, what we are hearing from the DMK sources is that DMK will not take any decision that will embarrass the Congress on the floor of the House.
Alright, Shabir, just stay on for a moment. Well, let's just also talk about the root cause, why this problem has actually developed for the Congress government. Joining us now is Arjun Chatterjee. Arjun, it was the TMC, wasn't it, which actually, got this entire move going. Mamata Banerjee appealing even to her most fiercest, sort of enemies, if you would call it them, the political, opponents, the left party, saying that, give me support here. There needs to be this motion which needs to be put forth, and the government's move on FDI cannot be supported.
Well, absolutely so, Aditya, and that also with 19 MPs, the Trinamool Congress Supremo, day before yesterday, at the State Secretariat here in Kolkata said that Trinamool Congress is going to move this no confidence motion. She also made this very important statement that she is going to talk with parties like the BJP and the left. Instantly, the left parties gave a retort saying that Mamata Banerjee needs to communicate with them first, and most importantly, she needs to find her numbers. With 19 MPs, she cannot go on speaking so big about moving no confidence motion. And also, the most important part is, if the government somehow manages to have the numbers and can evade this no confidence motion, then they're immune for the next 6 months. So political parties are waiting and watching. My Trinamool sources have just confirmed me that Mamata Banerjee also is waiting and watching how the other political parties within the UPA and outside the UPA are trying to form this realignment. She is also talking to political leaders, but obviously she is not coming out with any official statement. Didi is waiting and watching, and only after, if she at all can manage the numbers, will she come out with its concrete statement.
Well, 19 numbers, as far as the numbers are concerned, Javed, I mean, 19 certainly not, good enough. 50 is, if I'm correct, is what she'll lead. But sending out feelers is Mamata Banerjee, old friend causing these problems for the Congress government. They've been really belligerent on their part as well, coming out and saying that, we're not worried. We will go ahead with this move, bringing in FDI and retail.
Look, as far as the FDI and retail issue is concerned, even if that resolution is voted out in Parliament, it will have no effect, because that measure does not need legislative sanction. But when it comes to the question of a conference motion, parties will have to take a position and they will have to vote. And therefore, but the big question that will be, the big consideration before parties would be, do they want an election right now? What happens if this move, say for a party like DMK, is it in a position to go and face the electorate? Is Mulayam Singh or Mayawati in a position to have early elections? This is a consideration that will weigh heavily with all the parties, both small and big, and also unattached individual MPs. So that is something which the political managers of the UPA are banking upon, that when this consideration comes, they will decide, because let's not forget, there's only a 50% mortality rate of parliamentary. Successive elections have shown that only 50% of them return as MPs. And who would want to lose their term? Who would want elections when there are at least 15 months to go? Most MPs would want, almost every MP would want to complete his or her term in Parliament, and therefore they believe that despite all this saber rattling and grandstanding, ultimately political parties will weigh their positions and vote sensibly and ensure that the government does not fall.
Javed Ansari, they're making a very valid point. Javed, just stay on for a moment. The opinion and of course the stand of the BJP also is going to be very important in this current situation. But there have been plenty of reactions coming across as well. Anand Sharma, for one, coming out and saying that, well, this move will be persisted with, the government will go ahead with this. The BJP, of course, coming out and criticizing the current stand of the government. Let's play out those reactions now.
In the history of Indian parliamentary democracy, an executive decision has never been dragged into parliament motions. The government is confident of convincing the majority of the parliament and facing any challenge and continuing with its good work.
We have all options open. We will coordinate with every political party which is ready to resist the anti-people policies of this government, and we will definitely coordinate with Mrs. Mamata Banerjee, and we welcome her initiative.